Earthquakes can destroy property and lives on all of the world's continents, and often developing countries are the least prepared and the hardest hit. This next story is about a hard-working southern man who hopes he can help. He created a unique construction material. It's cheap, lightweight, energy efficient, impervious to mold, mildew and even fire. The only test he hadn't performed was how the material stood up to earthquakes.
Hoot Haddock has spent more than 20 years and millions of his own dollars perfecting a unique construction system that might one day save lives.
My name is Horace Hewlin Haddock. They call me Hoot. Some say it's because I didn't give a hoot, and some said I used to run around with a six-gun like Hoot Gibson.
His idea came when living in Alaska. He wanted an insulation material that could better withstand -40-degree winters, heavy snow loads and hurricane-force winds. The answer was Thermosave, a sandwich of 2 plywood sheets with a polystyrene foam centre.
A good example is the little white foam drinking cups. No matter whether you have ice or hot boiling coffee in it, it's still, you don't hardly feel it through the 1/16 of an inch. I mean, you think what 4 or 6 or 8 inches will do for you.
This church, built entirely out of the panels, showed immediate energy savings.
We've actually had to run the air conditioner several times in the wintertime because of the efficiency.
And because the panels are lightweight and self-contained, there's no need for framing or drywalling. It's almost like erecting a giant Lego house. Fibre cement boards soon replaced the wood. That increased the strength of the panels, as you can see with this 3,400-pound pickup truck parked on a 6-inch panel.
The design load on most areas, the major part of the United States, is 20 pounds per foot. Well, this was 160. And then your wind load is 80 miles an hour. Well, that was a 200 miles an hour.
Hoot's panels were so good, they caught the attention of the Federation of American Scientists. The FAS had sent a challenge out to the scientific community to devise a house that met the needs of people in developing countries.
Namely cost, cultural acceptability, environmental safety, the use of no wood because wood is a very scarce product, and finally energy efficiency to make sure it's something where people can either stay warm or cold depending on the climate they're in with minimal use of burning fuel.
That put Hoot's panels in the lead, except for one thing. How would they stand up to an earthquake?
We saw last year in Bam, Iran, over 40,000 people were killed because they were living in the type of structures that have been built since ancient times.
So Hoot agreed to come to Cincinnati and erect a 2-story Thermosave house on top of a seismic simulator or shake table.
The seismic simulator here at Trintec is one of the largest in the country. It is a triaxial seismic simulator with a payload in excess of 15,000 pounds, that being the specimen weight.
Hydraulic pumps power all 3 axes with 3,000 pounds per square inch of pressure. They move actuators underneath the shake table, both side to side and up. When started, it's as if the table is directly above the epicenter of an earthquake.
It'll generate in excess of 30,000 pounds force, and what that means in terms of acceleration is raw accelerations approaching 8 Gs and broad spectral accelerations at 5% damping of 14 to 15 Gs. In layman's terms, those are very, very strong accelerations, well exceeding any earthquake we'd ever see on Earth.
Once the house is built, Gary attaches accelerometers to key areas.
Just like anything else with the earthquake, we're monitoring 3 axes. So we have an accelerometer for each of the horizontals and one for the vertical.
With everything in place and a thumbs up from Gary to the control room, the first earthquake begins to rumble. After only 20 seconds, the house holds, and it's time to look at the data.
That's what's happening up top. You got about 7.8 Gs, really. It amplified that much up there.
It validates, I mean, right here, it validates your analysis. So,
Yeah.
What would you like to do?
Now, I want to go higher.
Normally, the tops of the screws that hold the panels in place pop off under these kinds of stress. But even with 50% more acceleration, the house is standing firm, to Gary's delight.
That was a hoot. We got up to 1.1 G ZPA, peak acceleration. We're going boldly where no man has gone before.
The third test goes even further.
Look at that, 1.83 in the vertical. Hoot, that's incredible.
Thank you.
Even FAS's Rachel Jagoda was giving testimonials.
I would sleep tight in that house.
But Hoot isn't done yet. He wants to see it break. After 2 more shakes at increasing power, it's not the house that's at risk, but the table the house is standing on.
They tell me that the most that they have ever witnessed on G-forces on a building was a 4, and we went past a 7, and we didn't break the building, we broke their machine.
And that was our last test.
This is the seal of approval that Hoot has been hoping for.
The recent event off of Sumatra, you know, they talked about how that changed the shape of the Earth and slowed the rotation down by 2 microseconds or whatever it happens to be. These forces, if they had been in the Earth, are, you know, an order of magnitude above that.
As a result, the FAS could be putting Hoot's homes into countries like Afghanistan or Iran within a year.
We're also starting to explore the possibility of assisting with the reconstruction in the area in Southeast Asia that was hit by the tsunami. And so that may actually shift to our primary focus if Afghanistan isn't viable.
That makes all the difference to Hoot.
It's very rewarding. There's a saying that good things happen to those who wait as long as he works real hard while he waits.
Thankfully for people in developing countries, that wait may soon be over.